to work within a company with the sole purpose of filming them without their permission, but because it's the BBC, it's fine.
But some of this is actually breaking the code of the Ombudsman.
I think we need to find her and undercover start filming her for the public interest.
If you post something positive about landlords on X or Threads, you'll get everyone jumping on, no, it's terrible, tax the rich, etc. It's like, do you guys not realise that property is the bridge?
I got a request recently from BBC for an interview, and I was just like, I'll happily do it, but you can come to my studio, but I'm going to have a backup camera filming. And then they said, nah, you're all right.
So yeah, I'll do it. I'll give you a free studio.
Yeah.
But no, this is just typical BBC again and again. They're shameless, bro. They're not going to be ashamed of themselves.
Shameless. So I'm here with my brother Russell Leeds, and we've just watched the BBC expose on Purplebricks and Connells. And I want to know, what do you think of the news?
The two companies they exposed, Purplebricks,
yes,
and Connells,
yeah,
estate agency, and basically they were exposing their bad practices. So with Purplebricks,
and Martin Lewis was on there, wasn't he, crying about it? Oh, they're so bad. This is wrong. This is unfair. What they're doing, and we need more regulation. And the whole thing was
the Ombudsman need to investigate it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
I think there were two different issues. So Purplebricks, that was more of a pressure selling environment. And also,
the thing is though, aren't Purplebricks basically free?
Well, that was one of the things that they said. So they were like, they advertise as free, but if you want stuff like your property being listed on Rightmove, you've got to pay. So yes, they'll put it on
but
their
is that not
website.
like open rent, where it's free to go on open rent, but then if you want to pay a bit more, then you can like. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things they called them out on. They're like, they advertise for free, but
yeah, but there's a free element. I'll just give you a nutshell before we talk about what the expose was. I watched the whole thing. I think it was a complete joke. BBC should be absolutely ashamed of yourself.
Well, I don't know why they should be ashamed of themselves, because this is just typical BBC again and again. They're shameless, bro. They're not going to be ashamed of themselves.
Shameless. They are so shameless. And I also want to say before we even continue that I back Connells. I back Purplebricks 100%. I don't think they're perfect. I don't think anyone's perfect. When you've got a BBC journalist getting a job to work within a company with the sole purpose of filming them without their permission, but because it's the BBC, it's fine. They're allowed to do it.
I think that going undercover like that, filming in their offices, and then putting that estate agent manager, for example,
Charlie. Shout out Charlie from Connells. Who's a lovely lady.
Being like all over TV. Would you want anyone filming you undercover in your home or in your office?
No. Would that journalist like it? What's the journalist's name?
I don't know.
We need to find out. Can you find out? Google the journalist's name. I think we need to find her and undercover start filming her for the public interest. I think it's a frigging joke. Imagine how badly that will affect people's mental health.
Lucy Valance.
How can you live with yourself?
I agree.
How can you live with yourself? Lucy Valance. We know people need to start doing as well. Obviously, we know about this because we've had our own dealings with the press. Sue Lucy Valance. Don't try and sue the BBC. Sue the journalists. Sue the individual, because they'll try and hide behind, BBC. No, sue them. Sue them. Personally sue them.
You should not be allowed to film someone secret. I thought you weren't allowed. I thought you weren't allowed to record someone secretly and use it. You can't even do it in court when someone's committed a crime.
Well, the laws are very complex on that, actually. The laws are very complex. You can film people if you're in a public place.
Like someone's private office.
That you can't do that.
Well, we say that, but she is doing it.
Yeah, because she's doing it because she BBC are so powerful. And they're so government backed.
So could you not do a YouTube documentary and go and do that?
Nope.
So it's just the BBC.
Not only wouldn't I be allowed, but I would feel disgusted with myself. Because there's been times, I'll give you an example. I was filming the other day. I was filming, like, don't buy this house, like shorts. Right? I saw this beautiful big house, big white house, all done up beautifully. And directly opposite was a rundown house. And I was like, I should do a video. So I jumped out and I was like, don't buy this. And the guy was in. And he went, "Oh man," and I was like, "Oh mate, ooh." I'm so now technically I wasn't doing anything wrong. I'm on a public street. You're allowed to film someone's house.
So hold on, you went, "Don't buy this house," and he was like, "Oh, it's my house."
Basically.
Oh man.
Well, he waited for the video to finish, and then he went, "What are you doing, mate?" And I was like, "Oh, soz, mate. I didn't go, it's my right to film on the public place, right? I was like, oh, sorry, mate. I said, I was actually just showing how wonderful your house is and trying to get someone to do the same with the one opposite. And he went, oh, fair enough, mate. It was fine. But
At least he wasn't the guy you were like, the other guy's house.
Yeah. Don't buy a house like this.
Buy a rubbish house like this, oi!
Yeah. But the point is, how do people have no conscience around filming people to try and expose them? That's another thing. And it's not like you're exposing Connells or whatever. You're filming Charlie, who was actually lovely to you. You know, you should be really nice to her. Do you need anything? Okay, here's setting her all up with that. And she was filming her. Shame, man. Shame on you, Lucy. Shame on you, Lucy. You should be personally sued, man. That's what I think. I mean, obviously, I'm not a lawyer.
You're training to be a lawyer.
I'm training to be a lawyer, and I know about the law, but I think it's a joke. I think that another thing is, let's be real. Let's be real. Are Connell's perfect? No. But they're a multi, branch, national chain of
one of the biggest estate. Well, both of them are. Both Purplebricks and Connells.
So, so to go in and to be like, oh, that member of staff was a bit unethical here and all that. It's not like anyone's doing anything criminal. No one's doing anything criminal. Some of the staff were a bit pushy. Another thing is they were going on like mad, weren't they? Because basically a big part of the documentary was about what they do. This is the big grief, right? What they do is they'll say that your house is worth a bit more than it is.
Well, this is Purplebricks.
Yeah. To try and get you to list it with them. Because let's be real, human nature. If you speak to 3 estate agents, which one are you going to let them sell your house? Well, probably the one that says they'll get the most for it.
Yeah, I'll get 180, I'll get you 200.
Yeah. So Purplebricks are saying 200, and then people are going, oh wow, putting it with Purplebricks, and then it's not worth 200, it's worth 180, and then they're getting they're saying, oh, they're trying to get them to come down, and you know. It's one of those things, in my mind and in my opinion, is it ethical? Not really. It's a little bit naughty, but isn't it kind of just obvious? Isn't it just like, I mean, I've taught this for years. I remember it was one of the first things I ever said when I ran the first crash course in 2014. I was only a 27-year-old kid. And I was like, oh yeah, when an estate agent says this, they'll be meaning this. To me, it's just obvious. I don't think it's, really ethical. It'd be better to be completely honest with people. But a McDonald's really ethical when they say your burger, saying, by the way, this is really unhealthy. Use your brain. Just think.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. With a lot of it, it's like they manipulate them into accepting lower offers. It's like, but you're still accepting it. If you're that stupid, that when they ring you up and say 325, that's the best we're going to get, and you go, oh, okay then. It's like, God.
And then when they go, actually, we had an offer of 275, and they try and of course they're going to push you to accept it because they're going to get paid commission when you accept it. And then they're saying, oh, I feel so vulnerable.
Well, let's talk about the things that they did, and then we can say how we think was bad. That was the first thing. So with Purplebricks, it was 2 main things. That was the first one. They pretend it's worth more than it is. What I did think was a little bit, was that it wasn't like 1 or 2. It was systematic. So what the company were literally doing is they were telling people, add 10% on, and then they would give them commission when they managed to get them to reduce it.
Yeah, you know what, though? I think that the reason the BBC show irked me so much was not because they were exposing a state agency, or it was the way they were doing it with the eerie music, as if there was some big, awful... It's like, okay.
Right from the off, it's clear we're expected to sell, and sell hard.
Yeah, like find a company that isn't...
What about Apple? What about Apple, where they deliberately change the iPhone chargers so you have to spend more money? Everyone knows they do it, but there's no eerie music documentary. That's the thing with the BBC.
But you could go to Apple, you could like show where they're made, how they exploit people, because they cost pennies. I think an iPhone costs about £10 to make.
Yeah.
And then they charge... You could do an exact same documentary about pretty much any business, is your point, isn't it?
Yeah. And you could make it look... Or not even any business, but any person. I'm sure, right, that if you went through... If that would be the equivalent of getting in a relationship with somebody as a BBC undercover and going, oh, I'm a pretty woman. I'm going to go out with this guy and just date him for a year. Pretend to love him. But actually... find every mean thing he ever says or every flaw he's got and then put it and then broadcast it to the world. It's sick.
You reckon you could make anyone look bad?
Well, I mean, they made Jesus look bad, didn't they?
Yeah, but that was lies. If you filmed Jesus, it wouldn't have looked bad.
Yeah, but you could take things out of context. You could have him whipping the temples and go, and then he whipped turned the tables over and put eerie music and make him look bad.
That is true.
I think you can basically, I mean, I'm not saying Purplebricks are perfect,
I think Purplebricks came across worse than Connells.
but ironically, they went into Connells. The fact that they went in and got a job with Connells for literally, I don't know how many months, and
Well, they sold loads of houses while she was there.
and they didn't really have anything that I thought was that bad, shows that they must be pretty good.
The biggest thing I thought that Connells did wrong was that they were turning down. If they had a popular house, they were like, okay, who's offering on it? Are you going to use our mortgage broker? And if they weren't using Connells' mortgage broker, they basically were like ignoring their calls, not letting them have a viewing.
Really, they were ignoring their calls, or just you're not giving them the preferential treatment?
Ignoring their calls on this house because it had like 15 people that wanted to buy it.
Yeah, they want to sell it to the guy who's buying it, who's going to use their mortgage provider, their solicitors, their this.
And what
Which
they were saying,
again is kind of human nature.
and what they were saying is, because they rushed it to go through, what they should have done if they're acting in the best interest of the seller is create a bit of a bidding war.
Yeah. And you know what? This is where we, as businessmen, that we often have to do this, don't we? Like, for example, right? If we're paying a salesperson to sell a deal, right? So we've got a deal sourcing company. We sell quite a lot of deals. We've got a training company. We've got all different companies. But on our deal selling business, we pay our salespeople not just on commission. They get a bonus if that person is a satisfied customer at the end, don't they? So when they get the keys, if they leave a review, get the keys and are happy, the salesperson gets rewarded for that. And we often spend time, don't we, thinking about systems where how can we set this up?
So our goals are aligned.
Yeah. So the customer's goal is the same as the salesperson's, which is the same as the companies. And you want systems in place because if it's not aligned, then of course if we said to our sales boys, you're only going to get paid when you sell houses to women but not men. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that the sales guys aren't really going to sell that many houses to men unless it just falls in their lap and then, because the system is set up for them to only sell to women. That's probably a really silly example, but I think that's a little bit like what's going on with, if they're so incentivized to sell houses where they're using the solicitor and where it doesn't make sense for them to sell the house otherwise, then it's a bit of a bad system. You can't blame the salespeople for going, well, hang on a minute. If I sell to you, I'm going to make 20 quid. If I sell to you, I'm going to make $1,000. Yeah, I'm going to kind of fob you off a bit. You can't really blame the salesperson.
No.
I used to be an estate agent as well. I used to work at Best Weaves countrywide.
But wouldn't that be a good argument then for an ombudsman or someone to come in, for example, and say estate agents aren't allowed to make money on referring people to their own mortgage brokers?
Maybe, but here's another thing. Estate agents, they are very regulated. Like extremely regulated. To be an estate agent, you have to be registered with the ombudsman. So any complaint goes to the ombudsman.
But some of this is actually breaking the code of the ombudsman. So this actual rule, you're not allowed.
Well, if they're breaking the code, here's the thing: that if they're breaking the code of the ombudsman, why did the ombudsman not just deal with it?
Agreed. Why is it on a TV show?
Yeah.
And it's a grey breaking of the...
But the ombudsman should have just dealt with it, shouldn't they? So why aren't they doing an expose on the ombudsman? If they're not dealing with it.
Why the ombudsman are allowing this to go on.
Yeah, why are they going after the poor salespeople that are on 18 grand a year that are trying to feed their kids and filming them and exposing them to the world and not going after the ombudsman?
Do you know what I did think watching it? I'm actually quite impressed with the estate agents.
I'm very impressed.
I was thinking, these would make good workers. If I was looking to hire salespeople,
we need estate agents.
I think an estate agent.
If you're from Connells, we've bought from Connells, we've done business with Connells, or Purplebricks, and you're working and you're sick of what's going on in your workplace. Maybe you're getting the ombudsman now really coming down like a ton of bricks. Maybe you're getting, pressure from the BBC. Then apply to work with Samuel Leeds, whether that's in our deal sourcing division, whether that's our education company, whether that's as a builder. I don't know, as a salesperson. Depends on what you do as a manager. I don't know. But reach out because
I agree.
We'd love to hire you.
And these are the ones they're exposing.
What do you mean?
These are the ones that are apparently been exposed and we thought they looked good.
Yeah, but I feel sorry for them because they genuinely were good people. And do you know what another thing is? why aren't the BBC going after the pedophiles that they keep covering up? Why are they continually pedophile after pedophile after pedophile covering them up? Why is that?
It's impossible to answer, isn't it?
But then using the people's TV license money to go and do a hit piece on Charlie at Connells.
Do you think it will hit Connells or Purplebricks, or do you think people won't care?
Well, I'd like to think people have got a brain and we'll watch the documentary and we'll just be like, oh, great.
I don't think people will.
You think people will care?
I think people will care.
Really?
I think people will look at it and go, oh my goodness.
Connells are bad.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't use Connells. I'll use Dixon's
They
instead.
did the exact same thing. Well, this happened to us when the BBC came after us. And it's like, hang on a minute.
Are you tainted by that? Will you go in watching this doc and you're immediately on Purplebricks' side? Are you tainted by what happened to you?
I am tainted by the fact that I think genuinely, hand on heart, that the BBC cover up the bad guys and try and expose the good guys. I don't know why. I just see it time and time and time again. So now, yeah, another thing I do is I've always done this. I use my brain. Like if I see an expose video or documentary, I'll be like thinking, what's this person actually done that's wrong? And sometimes you don't know. It's just eerie music and emotional stuff and some testimonial from often anonymous people as well. Some testimonial from an anonymous person saying like, I had so much strain on my marriage at the time when I met them. And it's like, hang on, what's this?
What?
That often
Why?
isn't anything. It's like tracing paper thin. I mean, but maybe I'm just like...
So I would say not at all tainted for me personally, but I'm just now a little bit more aware of how they work and how they can manipulate stuff and how they can...
And I've heard people in the media say like disgusting things. Oh, we can show it however we want. Oh, we'll edit it to show how... And it just makes me like, ooh. You know, like I got a request recently from BBC for an interview, and I was just like, I'll happily do it, but you can come to my studio because I'm a multi-millionaire and my time is very valuable. I don't want to go mess around at your stupid studio. Come to my studio, and you can ask me whatever you want, but I'm going to have a backup camera filming, so you can't take anything out of context. And then they said, "Nah, you're right." So what did they have in mind? What would they have done?
What's wrong with
Film
that?
me for an hour and a half.
So yeah, I'll do it. I'll give you a free studio.
Yeah.
But no.
I'll give you a free studio. You can film what you want, but I'm going to have a little backup camera hidden away filming it. So we've got the unedited version. No, you're right. They said no. They said, oh no. And then I even said, look, I tell you what then, I'll do it, but I want it to, I'll do it in your camera in your way, but I need it to go out unedited. And they said, oh no, that's not how it works. So what do you want then? You want me to come on for an hour and then you're going to take what? Literally probably 20 seconds. They're so corrupt.
I agree. So
what's the lesson then? What should people watching this? Obviously, there's the lesson of watch the documentary by all means, but obviously there's the lesson of, when an estate agent's selling your house, guess what? They're trying to make money. And if they say, oh, we'll do it for free or for cheap, they're probably going to try and sell you solicitors and this, and they'll make money from it.
Yeah, it's a business at the end of the day.
Oh, shock horror.
My biggest takeaway was if I'm looking to buy something and it's popular, tell the estate agent that I'll at least have a meeting with their mortgage broker.
Oh, mate. I've been teaching this for decades. Well, not decades. A decade. To go and sit with their broker to show them that you're eligible if you are. Because it really...
But not even to show them you're eligible, just to show... Because they...
No, because they
so what
get
did
points.
shock me? Do you know what shocked me? How much money they make from kickbacks?
They do make a lot of money from kickbacks. Yeah.
Literally like $2,000.
But that doesn't go on to Charlie, does it, from Connells? That goes in mostly in the pockets of the company. And
it doesn't go into Charlie, but she'll probably get...
Yeah, she'll get a time. Matt, when I was an estate agent, I was working for 11 grand a year. And every time I'd sell a house, I got £25.
Purplebricks, they said they're on 23 grand.
Yeah, I mean, this was like 17 years ago or something for me.
And they, on target earnings, should be £700-800 a month in commission.
So not a lot of money then, is it?
No.
And they're very, very hard-working people. Estate agents are some of the hardest. That's why the fact that I used to be an estate agent, I think we need to hire some estate agents to come in. But yeah, I think it's but you open your mind, realize that when you're doing business, of course, it's like when people come to one of our free trainings and then they're like, oh, they tried to sell me an advanced. It's like, yeah, of course. It's like, what? It'd be like if someone gave you a bit of pizza on the side of the street and you're like, oh, thank you. Can I have another one? And it's like, well, we've given you one. Do you want to come in and buy some? It was all a scam. It's like, are you an idiot?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Are people just stupid? And I bet they're all right academically as well, aren't they? They're the people that would have done all right at school and then go and watch the BBC and think, oh, don't use Connells. And then they go to Dixon's and do the exact same
Do you know what
thing.
though? It's like the people that have a go at landlords. It's like you hear people, if you post something positive about landlords on X or Threads, you'll get everyone jumping on, no, it's terrible, we'll tax the rich, etc. It's like, do you guys not realise that property is the bridge? Yeah. It's like you're trying to cut off the bridge.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the bridge between the rich and poor. The property is the bridge between a normal, average, working class, poor person becoming rich.
yeah.
And the fact that at the moment you can do that, and you're trying to go, no, don't, these landlords, these greedy landlords apparently are the people that own 3 houses, that were working class, that grew up went to the same school as you, probably did a bit of training with me, and now they've got a few houses and they're setting themselves up so that they can give their family a slightly better life.
Yeah, it literally is like the turkeys voting for Christmas scenario, isn't it? It's like trying to stop that, trying to stop landlords. So that the real rich can carry on doing it and get richer. You freaking idiots. But
yeah, unfortunately, people are stupid. I look forward to seeing the comments on this video. There'll be some stupid comments on the video, no doubt. Let us know what you think. What do you think about the BBC? Stop paying your TV license. I did not watch the show at my house. Neither did you?
no.
Because we don't watch BBC at home. We have to go to our broke-ass friends' houses that still have a TV license to watch BBC. We don't watch it. We only watched it for your benefit to do this podcast. So the least you can do in return, help us out massively. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.